This is News 3 Now at 10.
And thanks for joining us. Charlotte is off tonight. This is what it looked like last August along Lake Mendota after historic flooding hit the southern part of the state. Well, now the city of Madison is working on a plan to keep it from happening again. And Amy Reed joins us now to show us how they hope to do that. Amy?
The engineering division in the city is starting a series of meetings with the public to talk about the ins and outs of last year's flooding by focusing on these watersheds on the west side. Tonight, they talked to people in the Strickers Mendota watershed, where they're still seeing signs of last August to this day. The view from the front yard is what makes you want to move here, but being this close to water during a flood.
The water came up to a little past the tree here. I mean, the funny thing is, we saw people canoeing in our front yard. Bill
Martin has a good outlook on it, but that doesn't mean he wasn't affected. Water too full for the ground flooded his basement.
So that was probably the hardest part, was just losing things that, you know, you have down in the basement because it's a basement and that's where you store things.
But he's watched as things have gotten better, like when the path across the street opened again. But he's also seen things stay the same, like downstream at Tiedemann's Pond, where the boardwalk is still underwater. That's what concerns him. If the pond downstream can't take any more, what happens if it rains like that again?
Data on where damage has occurred
That's why he's glad for meetings like this. The city of Madison listening to their questions and getting input from people like him about how they could fix these watersheds.
We really want to solve it, and we want to solve it right, and we want to do it right, and we want to provide solutions that last for a long time so that we don't ever have to deal with this again.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, it's nice to see the city wants to know what, you know, ideas, our concerns, etc., because sometimes no one ever listens to the people that get impacted by it enough.
Especially looking back, knowing how things could have been.
So looking back, it can always be worse. I mean, when you look at what some other people lost in other areas, we're somewhat lucky, even though the frustration of losing things. But it could certainly be worse.
The city is planning meetings like this for all of the watersheds. So if you live here, you'll get a chance to get your questions answered too. After that, the city will start to study these watersheds to figure out if a change in infrastructure or drainage pattern is needed. That will take time, of course, and we'll keep you updated as those plans develop.
All right, Amy Reed reporting. Now, Amy, thank you very much. The DNR